in the fire truck. We hit an icy spot. Pretty soon, our fire truck starts doing this 180 on the on-ramp. And I'm like, Frank, you got this, Frank? And I'm grabbing everything I can. I'm like, Frank, you got this? And Frank's like, nope. And we do this 180, and we hit the dry pavement, and the truck tips onto two wheels, and our hose lines go across the freeway.
Rusty Kramer, stud.
Stud, yeah. Rusty's a stud.
I've met him, probably 2 or 3 years ago, and you introduced me, of course.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting him, and it's just like, he's like this silent assassin, dude. You just like look at him, and he's engaged, he's there, and it's like he's understanding, he speaks when he's spoken to, man. But talk about a guy who just knows what's up in the fire industry, man.
Yeah, his mind's moving all the time, whether things are coming out of his mouth or not. He's always thinking, always planning. A tactician, a really good tactician on the fire ground. We've been friends for a while. I think he got hired probably 13 years ago. And then, even today, I probably talk to him once a day.
Yeah. Sometimes
twice a day, depending on the day.
Dude, gosh, you talk about some cool studs you got around that whole office you guys have there. I mean, you, Rusty, Matt, and I know Steve aren't there either, but.
Yeah.
So maybe kick us off real quick. Introduction, name, what fire station you're with, how long you been there, how long you been in the service.
Yeah. So Justin Capaul, I'm currently Battalion Chief with Kootenai County Fire and Rescue. I'm currently assigned to the training division. So as of a couple months ago, I moved from the aligned battalion to the training division. So in fact, Rusty took over the crew that I had. Rusty got promoted to Battalion Chief, took over the battalion I was on, and then I got moved to training, which I've been at Kootenai Fire 25 years. So I originally started as a resident firefighter with Kootenai County, and then I got hired with Spirit Lake in 2003. I was there for 2 years, and then I got hired full time at Kootenai Fire in 2005.
Okay, and you're a third generation firefighter?
Yeah, fourth generation. Yeah, my great grandpa, first paid fireman. It was Kootenai Rural then. Mm-hmm. My grandpa retired from Coeur d'Alene Fire. My dad was with Kootenai Fire. My uncle was with Spokane Valley Fire. He retired as a battalion chief from Spokane Valley. I have a couple of cousins. Mitchell's a division chief with Kootenai Fire, and Alex is a driver at Kootenai County Fire.
Oh, really?
So I got a couple cousins on the job with me now too. So
dang, man.
Yeah,
you got a lot of irons in the fire.
I have a lot of irons in the fire.
Because you got. Not only do you have firefighting right now, but you also have another company that you're Batt 3 right now that you're also doing in parallel with what you're currently doing. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
And just to run through, so Batt 3, because I'm still even understanding a little bit, but it's basically dispatch software, correct?
Yeah. So Battalion 3 Public Safety Solutions. We do software, so we do firefighter scheduling and then incident command management. Mm-hmm. Those are the two kind of main softwares that we have. Mm-hmm. I bought in probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. The guys that started it, Lee and John, they're local, Coeur d'Alene Fire Battalion Chiefs. And I've been using the software for years. So I finally went to them, and myself, Pete Hawley, who's with Kootenai Fire, we went to him and said, hey, man, could we let us in? We like this software. We use it every day. At the time, we just wanted to buy the scheduling portion of it, but they wouldn't separate it, so we ended up making a deal. So we bought in about a year and a half ago. And then, a year ago, we lost John. He was killed in the line of duty. We've been, it's almost been a year now, and we're getting our feet back under us.
Yeah. So with the software now, how many stations, how many departments are using your software currently?
Across the country and into Canada, we probably have several hundred using, both programs.
And what is your role right now? Like, where do you fit in with the niche?
Yeah, my title is Vice President of Sales, which means I answer the phone. And we have a couple of sales guys across the country. David, he's in Pennsylvania. And he's, a former fireman and kind of does all of our online demos for us. I try to do as many demos as I can to help out. And we get several demos a week, so there's just constant on the computer, sending emails, going to shows, shaking hands.
Have you done anything with like the coding side yet? Have you messed around?
A little bit. I've done some vibe coding, and we have 2 full-time coders in the office.
Yeah.
Plus Brandon, he's an owner. He's also a coder.
Nice.
So I like to go in and say, "Hey man, check this out that I made." They're not as impressed.
Well, it's like
I am. But.
Yeah. Well, there's something to be said. Like when you get into having a business like that, being able to wear the different hats. So even if like you're not the coder, right? Just like for me, it's like I like to go in with our media group and be like, "Hey man, here's," and they're like, "Okay, that's cool, Taylor, but like just step aside and let me do it." But it's still fun to be able to like dabble a little bit in all those different industries. So
yeah, and it's a lot to learn, which is cool. And there's always a joke because the way we try to run our company is if a fire department calls in, and let's just say an example is they want the software to do X. Mm-hmm. Well, if one fire department wants it to do X, probably several others have thought about that as well. So we try to filter them and put them in order so the coders know what they're going to work on each week. And we have some great coders. And so then I like to say, well, how long is this going to take? And I'm in my head, I'm like, it's going to be 2 hours, and they always roll their eyes at us, and we laugh about it because I know how hard it is. The AI coding it has a lot of potential for problems. They do use some AI in their coding, but it's not AI coded.
So, I mean, you get something like that and you start doing it. You talk about like when you first probably started that business or you got involved with the business. For you, from an outside, you're probably looking at it like, okay, this is going to be easy. It's just doing this and this, and you do a rollout, and then you find a mistake, and the next thing you find a mistake. And I say a lot to say, even with like our business right now, and obviously you're helping out us as well a lot, especially on all of our training stuff. But that was my biggest problem starting off early on. It was like, okay, this is so easy. Let's just push it out next week. And then it's like, but then you have the beta test and has to done. All the testing has to be done and roll it out. And then there's so much more than that when people think that's easy. Just throw it out there.
Yeah.
But it's not at all.
Absolutely. One of my vibe coded sites yesterday, doing a demo with this big department, 450 member department. I went to him and like, hey man, I just built this onboarding program. Would you mind testing it for me? And I mean, I think I've tested it 40 times. I've built 40 make-believe fire departments. And within an hour, he texted me a bug, and I was like, gosh darn it.
Dude, every time, dude. It just, there's always, even when you like model something out perfectly and try getting everything, there's always something that comes up, no matter what. We had the same thing today. Like we had a job lined up, went to the military base to set up and it's just like, just always something that you just can't. And that's the biggest thing I think about business ownership, and probably in the fire industry as well. It's like, there's always something that you can never prepare for everything. There's always that one mishap that really, that's what you're training for in all these different scenarios.
Yeah, absolutely. And for us, especially in business, as firefighters, like our mindset is, we're going to go in and fix the problem. It doesn't matter what the problem is. I mean, we go to smoke detectors, water leaks. It doesn't matter. They call the fire department. We show up. We fix the problem. And we have the same mindset kind of in our business where we want to, if someone calls and there's a bug, I want it fixed immediately. So to try to learn that not everything's an emergency, but that's what I've known for 25 years.
Yep.
Is everything's an emergency.
Yep.
So it's been good for me.
Yeah.
To kind of see that side of it.
I didn't even think about that, man. Because every situation that you ever go to, and Rusty said it on the last episode, but it was just like every situation that you go to, it's most likely that person's worst day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you get into, I didn't even think, like you're used to that every single day you're going into that situation. And so you get into something like business and somebody calls you like, hey, I got this issue. And your mindset probably goes immediately to just like, this is the worst thing. It has to be fixed immediately right this second.
Yeah, and we can fix it. So let's just get it done. Yeah. And
cool.
That's how we live our life, most of us. And that's you can tell. That's what that joke that you can see a fireman walking down. I mean, it's real.
Yeah. So your other business, Second Due, which that's where you're tied into, obviously with us a little bit, and I want to segue into. So for those of you watching, so Justin does pretty much all of our videos. So all of our demos. On our social media sites, so on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everything that you see is Justin. So if you, to kick this off, if you had to guess how many views do you think you have on videos that you've done for us over the past, let's just say 6 months? How many would you guess?
I have no clue. I kind of stopped watching them though, to be honest.
I want to know a guess from you. How many views do you think?
A couple 100,000 maybe.
850,000 views.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's funny because you go back to these videos and I just watch, and there are just so many. Actually, I got a couple here, which are good. So I printed out some of your comments that we have. So Justin's doing our bailouts. He's doing our window bailouts. And what's funny is that everybody who watches this, nobody knows and understands that you're doing things the wrong way on purpose.
Yeah.
You're trying to show a true blue, the auto belay system. You're trying to show, here's what happens when you fall off a ladder.
Right.
Here's what happens when you're bailing out a window and you don't grab the rung correctly.
Yeah.
But for everybody else watching this, nobody knows that and understands it. And I want to say, before I give you the floor on that, is that I can already think about, even when I started this podcast, it was like, I want to start something, but what if I say something wrong, right? And it's like, oh God, then what are people going to think? And even in this, I was actually calling fire apparatuses over the past couple episodes,
Right,
as you know, and Steve called me out as, dude, that's like a fire truck. You get your
I think
terminology
I texted you
You
about
did
that
too.
well.
It's like, but training facilities. But long story short, it's like, if I say something wrong, what are people going to think? And then your job has been to literally go on social media, do things wrong, and then put it out there in the fire service. With how many years of experience do you have? Over 30 in the fourth generation firefighter. I mean, some of these, I got to read a couple of these. So, and I'm not going to say names. So first time I've ever seen someone mess up a headfirst bailout. Testing with the chief is diabolical. Oh yeah, we always have time to install a pulley arrest before we enter a structure. Like,
Yeah, I think a couple more. Maybe that's why the chief stays in the rig.
yeah, it's
I've read a lot of them.
what the hell is this? I just can't see setting that up in the middle of a building fire.
Yeah,
That's why chiefs stay outside. If you're bailing, slid the ladder a ways before hooker. This guy can't type even. Hooking the ladder with arm worked just fine, and close to the ground is. If the hook doesn't work great, just a suggestion, stay safe. So you've got all these people who are now coming in and commenting on your videos. And first of all, for you just to be able to do that for us is fantastic. And then we get a social media guy who just absolutely blows up our site. And so now you're thinking you might get a couple hundred views, and now you got hundreds of thousands of views of people watching you do things wrong.
And at the time when we said we'll do some of these videos, I didn't know how big it was going to get. And I did, and I mean I still look at them and read them every once in a while. Not as much. It took me a little while of trying to get my head wrapped around how do I respond to these. In the end, I don't respond anymore, and. This is what it is. When you see a training video, and whether it's the videos that we put out or any video across the internet and on social media, you're seeing a snapshot in time. Mm-hmm. And especially here at Tailored, we're showing you a snapshot of a snapshot. We just want to show you how this prop reacts in this situation, or how the True Blue system works on a training ground. Mm-hmm. We're not going to set it up on a fire. I mean, come on. You think...
Well, that's supposed to be. You would think most people... but I've been at this show before, and people look at our Series 12, and they're like, so we can tow with these casters on? Right. I'm like, no, you cannot cut their 12-inch wheels, so it's just... goes to show.
You talked about it with Rusty, I think, in his episode, too, and you probably heard me say it at FDIC a lot, but what my mindset is in most of these drills, and Rusty talked about it briefly in the last one, was... any one of these drills, we're not replicating a certain scenario. Mm-hmm. So we learn from those we've lost, mistakes we've made ourselves, and then we try to get in reps. And if those reps are forcible entry in a narrow environment, and so each piece is a piece of a bigger drill. Mm-hmm. So, rope rescue, when John Nance fell through the floor, they went ladders, ropes, tried to cut the whole, all these steps. Well, what we want to do is just to provide you a space in the training prop that allows you to do all different kinds, and then come up with your own.
Yeah.
What are other ways to do it?
Yeah.
But that's not. We're realistic to the scenarios. We use those guys' names as the drills to remember them, and then we try to put new ways of coming up with ways to rescue firefighters from windows, first floor, second floor, third, fourth floor. How do you do that and not, disrespect the drill itself? And that's what we want. We put a lot of effort into making sure we don't disrespect the drill of the person. Yeah, and I think too, it was Steve Arossi I was talking to as well, and they made a good point. It's like maybe that's on our side too, where like I'm calling something like, hey, we're going to do a Denver drill here, and for us as like we're using like we would think of nomenclature, but it's like at the same time maybe it should be more or less, hey, we're just using a confined space rescue through a small window or whatever it is, instead of saying this is the Denver drill itself, right? But no, honestly though, I do commend you, especially even when you're at FDIC and you're bailing out of our prop and you're putting a ladder up there, and you have it first starting off at a steep. Okay, this is a realistic training scenario, and then you realize I'm bailing out of this window 15 times in the past half hour. I'm going to push the bottom of this ladder out a little bit and make this a little bit easier so that when I fall, and then you just get comments after comments after comments. So, but at the end of the day, man, you wear the white hat for a reason. Obviously, you've been in the industry for a long time, and for you to still go out there and to still be able to show those, really, you can tell the heart of somebody, and then also tell the what's the correct word? The strength of somebody by being able to still do that and know that you're going to get blown up with comments. Oh, yeah. No, it's okay. Like, I've accepted it. Yeah. I think I sent you. I just came back to shift work last week to do a temporary stint because we're just low on people right now. And the crew that I came back to gave me a coffee mug, and it was a picture of me falling off the ladder. It said, just out of white shift, just back from white shift or something. So it's been fun. My crews, the guys I lead, like they know. So it doesn't bother me too much. It doesn't. It doesn't. And I used to say the same thing. Like back when playing football, it's like you get comments and things that happen, and it's funny because it was always my wife the one that got. I was like, oh man, that's affecting you. Like she'd be in the stand, someone would say something. Oh, I missed that kick, and it was like she's ready to go to bat. So is your wife at all ever? Does she? No. And I don't talk to her about it too much. She probably just laughs at it. I think I've showed her a few of the funny ones. That's funny. Other one was with Steve. He has stickers. We've lost a lot of friends in the fire service, and he puts stickers on his helmet. And then one guy comments, maybe more stickers on your helmet, would help you with that rescue. And they don't realize like those stickers are people. Yep. And that's our It's his training helmet. Yep. It's just, it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. It is. People are pretty strong behind the camera, and then they realize, you know what, to get out there and actually make videos like that where people can comment and say things, man, you're helping the fire industry a lot by that, and you're helping our business as well with that. So what we do, man, we really appreciate it. Yeah, so absolutely. Hell of a job on that. So going to the fire service now, so your position, so right now, because, I think I've talked to you over the past 3 weeks. I think you've had 3 different positions in that time right now at KCFR, and you're getting a lot of hires on now. So you said right now you are back to being the battalion chief in training. Is that correct? So today I'm back on shift work. I was just moved for 2 months to cover while we're doing an academy. So I'm back on shift work. I'll go back to the training division in 2 weeks. So it was just a short stint back on the line just to help cover some spots. We have a bunch in the academy right now. They graduate the middle of June. So I'll be back to the training division here in 2 weeks or so. How are you enjoying being in the office there for a little bit? It's been interesting. In all my years in the fire service, I never worked a day shift job. So now to do it has been interesting. I tell everybody there's pros and cons. Shift work's great for a lot of things. Great for camaraderie, great for 4 days off, not great for sleep, not great for family outings. Day shift, I can go to practices and football games, and that's the stuff I care about, basketball tournaments on weekends. So what you give up, the job is fun. The people that I work with down at the headquarters are really fun. We've had a great time. How's that new chief? He's all right. Yeah, we got a new chief, and he's been doing great. So good. Sorry. Yeah, Pete's a good dude, man. He's a good guy. Yeah, and he's always got a vision. So trying to keep up is always, that's the hard part, trying to keep up with what he's thinking about in his head. And we have a great thing going down there. I see some good things in the future. We're growing. We're busier than we've been.
if you had in those positions you had now, and I asked Rusty and I asked Kevin this too, but looking back on, where you are now in the positions you've had, because you've had a lot of office positions over the past, obviously, couple months, and then obviously you've been in the service for a while. Looking back, position that you enjoyed the most, if you had to go back now and be at that position, pay was off the table, rank was off the table.
Yeah.
This is what you were doing. And even your schedule, let's just say, was flexible as well. What would that position be?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, to me, it'd probably be company officer, captain. You have a crew. You get to kind of schedule your day. But battalion chief for me was fun. I was a line battalion chief for 6 years before I went to training division, and I thought I made a big difference in that position. I was able to kind of influence some things. I was in the operations meetings, the parts that I cared about at the time, about the fire service. The operations division, where are we going, what are we doing, the service we provide, the citizens that we serve. Like, to me, that's the heart of it. And I felt like I had a lot of influence to change when I was a battalion chief. So I really thought that was a great job. But as I moved my way up, I went firefighter, driver, captain, battalion chief. And I spent the most time at captain, I think 10 years as a captain. And that was fun too.
Was it?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. They're all been great. Every time I made a move, I was like, this is awesome, And even now, going to the training division and with our new chief, Pete Hawley, he basically came to me on day one and said, hey, I want our training facility to be the one that everybody comes to. Like, that was his guideline to me. Today I drove down there. We had Spokane Valley doing their recruit academy there. We have our recruit academy down there. There's people everywhere, training going on, forcible entry in the SCBA confidence maze. And I'm like, this is what we wanted. This is what we wanted, to build a facility that's known in the area.
I think it's cool that all of the different departments around the area go train. I mean, we were at Newman Lake just last week too, and it was just like, Valley was just out here, and we had Coeur d'Alene out there, and like there's departments that go everywhere to train. So you kind of get that brotherhood still of like other guys coming in and train. It's kind of like reminds me of almost like fall camp or spring training. We have other teams that come and train with your team in the league or wherever else it is. Yeah. So that's cool, man.
Yeah, and it's awesome, and it builds relationships, and that's what I feel like I built my career on, is relationships, people I know, people I trust, not just here, but outside of Kootenai Fire and outside of the state and across the country. That's what I try to do, is build those relationships. They can call me anytime. I can call them.
That's cool.
That leads to a pretty strong training division. So that's where my head's at now at Kootenai Fire.
That's great. So if and this is a question I like to ask as well, which is, I mean, looking back now, because you've been there, how many years have you said you've been at Kootenai now?
I got hired full-time in 21 years ago.
21 years.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a long time.
And I was there as a volunteer for 5 years before that.
So in those 20 plus years that you've been there, there's calls people go on, there's things that people do constantly, and I look at it and like, there's no way in hell that I could do what you guys do. I mean, I know you guys always say too, it's like, it's just getting up and going to the job and doing it. It takes a special person to do what you guys do. It truly does, man, because I've been in situations where there's been like panic, right? And it's like, what do we do? And of course you guys have trained for it. I understand that, but it does take a special person to be in those positions. So in the past, you've been on calls, you've been on hundreds or thousands of calls. Is there one particular call at an event, something that stuck out in your mind that maybe helped you in the training that you have now, helps you in what you've done, something that you just want to maybe talk to other firefighters watching or people watching about, hey, here's a scenario I was in, an incident that I was on that kind of changed my outlook on things?
Oh man, I mean, there's a lot, and almost every call there's something to learn from, and the same as you heard Rusty Kramer does. I'd always listen to our radio traffic, kind of always think about calls we went on. There's been several. I mean, I can tell you when I first got promoted to battalion chief, within I think probably several weeks of being promoted to battalion chief. My uncle, I told you, was a Valley battalion chief. We were both working the same day, and he was bringing a piece of equipment over that Valley had borrowed. So he was on his way, and we're on the phone, and I'm like, hey, I see a big black column of smoke. I'm gonna drive that way. I'll meet you somewhere closer to that column of smoke. It hadn't been dispatched out yet. As it gets dispatched out for a house fire, I show up. It's 3 houses.
Were you on shift?
I was on duty, and my uncle shows up because he was coming over to drop off something that they had borrowed, and he jumps in my rig. And I always remember that incident just because having him sitting there as a new battalion chief. I have 3 residential structures in a row going, and it was just cool to be working next to him and with him. So that one comes to mind.
So you were, what you were saying, so you were actually so you were working and you were on a truck at that point? You were in the Chief's rig?
Yeah, I was in a Chief's rig.
Okay.
Yeah, by myself. And I looked up and I saw a column of smoke. I'm like, God, that looks dark.
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of head that way. And I just happened to be on the phone with him. I said, hey, because he was coming over to meet me. I said, hey, I'm going to kind of head that direction and meet me there.
Yeah.
And he showed up. So
that's cool.
That was a cool one. I had a guy, actually my most senior captain. This was early on as a battalion chief too. We had a house fire, attic. Long story short, one of my senior captains called a mayday for a missing firefighter. The first real mayday called that I was command on. We were able to find the firefighter pretty quickly. It resolved itself, but I learned a lot from that incident. Not just the mayday itself, but how much time had passed from when I had crews going in. This was just a really stubborn attic fire, really tall ceilings. We started on the outside, made its way to the inside. We fought it for 20, 25 minutes. And at the time, I didn't really keep track of time. So our incident command program, ICX, it has a timer on it, but I didn't have it open. I wasn't paying attention to time. So I think that one really struck me as I needed to do a better job of managing each incident, both from a accountability standpoint, from a time standpoint. Things get worse as time goes on. If we're not making a difference in there, like we got to keep reevaluating what we're doing, what tactics we're employing. So that one, and then the mayday itself went really well. It was, again, probably my most senior captain calling it, so I knew right away, like, this is a real deal. The firefighter that was missing, another crew came upon him real quick. Hey, we got him. He's over here with us. So it resolved itself quickly, but just going through it was a really good learning experience for me, and I took a lot of lessons from that.
Well, thank God the learning experience was that. Because, I mean, what's crazy about situations like, something, I can't relate to that exact one, but other situations you go through, you're like, oh my gosh, this could be worst case scenario. Like you lose your kid, for instance, at the park. You're like, oh my God, what happened?
Those initial
and then
seconds.
you have that initial seconds, and then you go back and you look at that and you're like, wait a second, what was my initial reaction in that time?
Yeah.
Was it the right one? It's like, no, it wasn't the right one. Well, thank God you learned at that point, especially on like a mayday like that, because it could have been completely different.
Yeah, and for that one, I had the GoPro on. I got the radio traffic. I was able to go back and rewatch everything, kind of what was my next assignment, and it was to get engine 3 to the front door. Like it was good to see and hear and go through the motions, and it was the same way. Like when you lose a kid, or you feel like you're lost in the woods for a minute, and you have that
initial
panic.
That's the best way that I can describe maybe the feeling that you guys have anytime you go to do something. It's just like that heart rate is just up. Switching gears again. So you and I haven't really chatted about this, but so you had a cancer battle too that you had. How many years ago was that?
Yeah, probably over 20 years ago now. Yeah, testicular cancer. 2008, I think. 2008.
So when you got diagnosed there, was it just standard procedure? I mean, that firefighters have to go through in this. Was it something you had on your own? How did that go about?
Yeah, so we require annual physical exams. So we see a doctor that's hired by the fire department. Every year we have to go through our annual physicals, and mine was caught during that annual physical exam. So first during the exam, followed up by blood work. Then you have to do the ultrasound, the surgery, all that stuff. And in Idaho at the time, we didn't have legislation that would tie it to the job. So, basically it wasn't job related, but it was right when we were going through the procedure with the legislature to try to get some language in. So my case was sent down to Boise. I went down there, talked to senators and representatives, and we eventually did. So a couple years later, got passed. So certain kinds of cancers are covered. They're presumptive. You presume you get it from the job because of, testicular cancers. I can't remember, but like 110% increase in possibility of getting it, being a fireman. They can tie a lot of those details to it. So so I went through a lot of that process to help them lobby for it. We had great lobbyists down at the Professional Firefighters of Idaho that did it, and I just kept sending them all my info. And
so you really helped push that along in the state of Idaho.
Yeah, one of several. There were several cases at the time, and I was just one of the ones that said, "Hey, use mine. Use mine
and go for it."
Yeah.
That's how many do most departments require annual physicals or no?
No, I don't think most. I do think some. It's required with NFPA, but NFPA is not a requirement. So it's one of those things that most departments should. And we always have. And I know the departments around us do. I just don't know how many departments do it, but we require it.
So you got diagnosed then, and then you cancer-free now, obviously, for how many years now?
Yeah, I mean, since then, so I had surgery. So from other than, some treatments here and there, as I went through, basically, after surgery, then you had to get x-rays and CTs and all that for 5 years, every quarter. Well, I switched oncologists a couple times. And finally, my last oncologist was like, you have more of a chance of getting it from the x-rays and CT than you do, a reoccurrence from the cancer. So we stopped doing that now. I get blood work. I get extra blood work every year. During my annual physical, I pay for extra blood work.
It helps when your wife's also in the medical industry too, I'm sure.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
So, dude, it's funny. We could talk about every hand you have, how many different fires. I mean, many different fires you have your hand in right now. Another big one right now is the J.W. Morrow Foundation. So every year we have a golf tournament that we help out, and we've obviously from you guys have learned about it in the past. But what's your role with the J.W.?
Yeah, so I was a founding board member of the foundation, great foundation. So Jeff Welch was a mentor of ours. He taught with Second Due Training. He was the chief in Norton Lakes, and then he traveled with us to teach all over. And Jeff, his mentorship to me was not just he was a firefighter's fire chief, but the way he talked to people is really what I took away. And we would go, and he just had this way of saying, "Hey, brother, come here. Let me show you a different way how to tie this. Let me show you a different way how to hold this nozzle." But he did it in that tone. And it was just like, hey, brother, come here real quick. Let me just show you a different way. And so I a lot of how I go around and teach, I try to always keep that in mind, because that struck me. That was life-changing in the teaching for me, was hearing him do that. And so he taught with Second Due. And then when he passed away from cancer as well. When he passed away, his family started the J.W. Memorial Foundation. And the goal is, and there's a lot of foundations around here, the goal of this foundation is, one, it's all of Idaho. Catastrophic injury or death in the line of duty, law enforcement, firefighters, EMS. We just want to cut an initial check immediately. So that's the goal, is to get money into the family's hands within days. That just kind of eases that first initial burden. There's a lot of great Red and Blue Foundation. There's a lot of other great ones that come in and help as well. And so we found our niche to just be that initial, here's $5,000, here's $8,000, here's, make your house payment while you're not thinking of other things. So that has been the financial goal of that organization. And it's been an incredible journey to talk to some of the people we've helped, the families that we've helped across the state.
And he was the original founder of Second Due Training, is that correct?
He was not a founder, but he was partnered with us from the beginning.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
And so those two watching, Second Due has been obviously training. You guys train all over North Idaho, Washington State. You're helping our company out tremendously. tailored systems. I mean, you guys are traveling now doing train the trainers on all the facilities.
Yeah.
A lot of the facilities we build, the props that we're sending across the country. I know we just got a prop going to Hawaii this next week.
Yeah,
Steve jumped on that one
today. Yeah.
He jumped on that one, so he's going over to do that. But you guys do a heck of a job doing that too. Do you guys? I mean, is that stuff that what do you enjoy most about that second do? Is it the trainer stuff? Is it going to teach classes?
Yeah, I always have said the Clearwater Academy down in Orofino, Idaho, has always been my favorite one. My favorite students. Everybody down there just loves doing fireman stuff, and so to me that's always been my favorite one. We used to go down there. Jeff went with us down there. Jeff Welch, Frank Harwood went down there with us for years. So I have a lot of memories of going to that every March, probably for the last 10 years. We missed it this year because we were in FDIC. They had to change the dates of their academy, but they have emailed us already asking for our schedule for next March. But that's my favorite because a lot of these small town departments, they don't get the access to the training that we get. And we are, one of the things that we have prided ourselves in is, we're humble to their situation as well. So just because, there's 3 of us on an engine that we go to, and there might just be one of them. And so we have to change tactics. We cannot teach the same tactics to them as we do up here. And we learn just as much from those guys as they learn from us. And so those are the types of classes and academies that I enjoy going to.
And then with that too, I know you guys are doing this next August 12th and 13th. You guys are hosting a backstep.
Yeah, backstep symposium's coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've held it 3-4 times in the past.
Yeah.
And right after COVID, we had to stop. And we didn't have to. We stopped during COVID, and then we just never got back to it. So this year, we made a pact to bring it back. We're going to do it in the middle of summer, which is hot, but it's also one of the most beautiful times up here.
It is.
In North Idaho. So we have David Rhodes coming. We have John Kwan, Chris Slayer. We have Jay Bonnefeld coming. So I know I'm missing some more. We're gonna do an evening Tuesday night. We're gonna do a water can class for the Modern Fire Service, a live burn class Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, we're gonna do lecture classes, and then Friday golf tournament.
Yeah. And all proceeds on that are going back to the JW Memorial Foundation as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Last year, obviously, we did the golf tournament, which was, great to be able to do that. And then to be able to do all the proceeds. I mean, we raised almost, I think, $15,000 in that tournament alone. And then now the fact that and all those proceeds this year will go back to the JW. And the fact that you guys are holding, obviously, your backstep during that time as well is going to be huge, I know, for there. And you think of 100 or 200 people you can probably have in that class. Is that right?
Yeah. I think if we get 100 to 200 people, we're going to it'd be great. I mean, they're great instructors. We've gone through other classes. I have a great cadre of guys that are helping put this together from, Selkirk Fire up north in Sandpoint to Shoshone, to Montana. Will's in Montana. We just log on, once a week, have a quick meeting. Everybody reaches out to their contacts and see who we can get here and try to bring some training back.
Dude, that's some big names in that.
There's some
too. We got to talk to them about too. JW had their their annual, not I want to say ball, but their annual foundation.
Yeah, their dinner banquet fundraiser.
The fundraiser. There you go. During FDIC this year too. So you had to miss out on your training session. I had to miss out on the fundraiser this year. That was a bummer.
Yeah, I made it for the dinner.
I know
because I came back right before you.
Had to come in a little bit later.
It was a great. We had one of the guys that we had helped. Got hit by a fallen tree, and he actually came to the dinner this year. So we got to meet him, which was cool.
Gosh,
yeah.
I don't want to put you on the spot with this one, but and if we don't have to talk much about it either. But I know obviously Canfield Hill happened this last year with you guys too. I mean, what was the impact like on that whole situation? I know because it was KCFR and Coeur d'Alene, I was affected by both of those. It was a big event throughout the country on that as well. Impact it had on your guys' station. How you guys bounce back on that whole situation?
Yeah, I mean, we're still healing. I think all the departments, not just our departments, but everybody, community, we're all still healing from it. Dave's back; he's doing really well. John and Frank, they were integral to the fire service in North Idaho. And so, we're just trying to move on. I think it helped bring a lot of our departments closer together, which, if there's one thing that came out of it, I think. And, it's just going to take time.
Yeah.
I think, it's tough.
Yeah, you guys are pretty close over there too, because you guys were on shift there for a while as too. You and John, correct?
Yeah, and John and I, Frank and I work at Kootenai Fire together. John's Coeur d'Alene, John and I own the business together.
Gotcha.
Yep. So John and I talked every day, texting about the company, and and I've worked with Frank for years. One quick story on that. I was a newer captain. Frank was driving. It was the middle of winter. We're going up we're going up the on-ramp on I-90 in the fire truck. We hit an icy spot at the top. It's kind of a bridge, so it's always icy. Jeff Pipeoff, I think, was the fireman at the time. And pretty soon, our fire truck starts doing this 180 on the on-ramp. And I'm like, Frank, you got this, Frank? And I'm grabbing everything I can. I'm like, Frank, you got this? And Frank's like, nope. And we do this 180, and we hit the dry pavement, and the truck tips onto two wheels, and our hose lines go across the freeway, and we land back on our wheels. And it was like, oh, everybody all right? We jump out. We have to pull the hose to get it off the freeway. Yeah, that always. I always tell that story because, gosh, that was a close one there.
Yeah. So now that you're obviously in the position that you are now with KCFR, moving forward, what's next for you? Are you wanting to stay in the position you're in now? What's your next aspiration?
That's a great question. I don't know. I think that there's still going to be some upward movement at Kootenai if in the future, but I have about 5 years left. I just started in training. I kind of want to see how this plays out for the next year or so. See what that looks like, because that excites me. That's kind of where my head's been is in the training division. So I'm excited to just do this right now and see what happens. I think if things happen naturally and I have to move up, I will. If they don't, I think I'm just happy.
Yeah. I think what you're doing now with second due, you've got, like I said, you got so many hands, man, in different fires right now. In Batt 3, I know you got a lot of exciting things happen there. Yeah. So I know for me, it's like if I'm doing one thing, it's always kind of like, ugh, like how do people do this? People are like, oh, I just want to have that time off. It's like, I can't do it. I find myself bringing chaos into my life, right? Yeah. Like, it's like, okay, I'm starting this business. Now I'm starting this podcast. Now I'm starting Peppy Pickles podcast. Now I'm starting doing this. And now I'm doing, it's like, it just find myself and you have that same mentality. And it's something that just keeps you though. There's something about it though, that just keeps you. And if your family can sustain it and your wife's a rock star like she is. Yeah. And same situation. My wife just kind of rolls her eyes every time I tell her I'm doing something different. But at the same time, you got that it factor, man. You really do. Yeah. And, luckily, and my kids are, they're getting older, but one of the priorities is making sure that I'm around for them, for their games. Landon's going to be a junior this year. He's working here. Yep. He's working here for the summer. Logan's going to be a freshman. Both of them are football kids, tried and true football kids. So they're going to be busy. And then Luke, he's going to be in fourth grade this year. And so, I want to make sure I don't lose focus on that because I have 100 other ideas as well, but I'm trying to kind of rein those in for now. There's going to be lots of time. I liked what I do here at Tailored, Batt 3 and Kootenai Fire, second due. Those are kind of the ones I try to build things around. Are you coaching as well? I'm not anymore. I coached both older boys. I have not coached Lucas yet. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Dude, you guys have a schedule and a half, man. I can't believe how much you're doing. That's a lot of stuff that you're doing. And you're working right now too. There was, I think last week you were working overtime shift. Yeah. Multiple hours a week. Yeah. So it's a lot. Luckily Landon's driving. Logan's in the permit process, so he's driving with people. That'll help a lot once he can drive. But we still have Luke. I still got several years before that. So, yeah, it's fun, though. Good, man. Yeah, it's fun. there's lessons too. I know just being around you guys all the time, and I always say you guys. And I remember saying this obviously with Rusty this last week, but when I say you guys, obviously you I'm talking about Steve, Rusty, Matt, the four of you guys being able to come in. You kind of take advantage of the people you surround yourself with. Sometimes I feel like. And I really have, because anywhere we go and I talk to people like, oh, Justin Capaul, like people they just know Justin Capaul, the name in the area. Rusty, when I go over to the station and look at all the training sessions, the respect that he just commands when he walks into the room, and then Pete, and then you talk to all these other guys. So I take that for granted, because we've got a great bunch of people that we surround ourselves, especially at this company and around with you guys and going to FDIC and the events that we do. Yeah. So it's just fun to be around you guys, man.
Well, it plays into that relationships, and it's no different than Kevin. I've known Kevin for years, and to call, hey, Kevin Shea's calling me. He must be a big deal, And it's Chris Slater's the same. When we called him, he just retired out of Arizona. Like, hey man, you want to come up and teach this class? And of course,
he said, yeah.
He said, yeah, absolutely. So, just growing that circle is important in business. And it's really important in the fire service. Fire service is still really small.
It's crazy, man. It's just like that one little niche that you guys have in the fire industry. Like when I met Kevin Shea at FDIC, and you were showing me the picture, I was like, "Who is this guy?" But everybody in the service knows him. Yeah. I mean, he comes on the show, and it was just like we still get comments now from his episode that he did with us. Yeah, he just constantly people just the mad respect that they have for that guy, which is insane.
And another guy that speaks humbly, just like Jeff Welch. Just another guy that. He teaches at very similar to Jeff Welch, and it's kind of what draws me to him. Although I texted Kevin 2 nights ago, he said, "Hey, I'll call you back."
Never does.
Never call me back.
I started. You've always said that, and I'm starting to get on that. It's been it's been probably about 2 or 3 weeks since Kevin and I have chatted on the phone, and we were talking on a spot there for a while, back to back. So big timer.
I know, too big for me.
So real quick, going down the line of what we do, obviously, so we build training props and facilities and stuff. So I want to take a second just to thank you, obviously, what you've done for our company when we met back when Steve came to FDIC and he saw us and he's just like, you guys are doing a terrible job. We need to help you. I think that's how he said it. And so you guys came on shortly after that, and I know he's just grinning hearing me say that. But he just came, hey, we need to help you guys out. And it goes back to what you were saying too at Second Due, because you're not an expert until you get outside of 50 miles where you are. And I think you're the one that told me that. And it's true. Yeah. Because you kind of sit in this little bubble that you're in, and you take advantage of those relationships and people that you have around you. And for me, it was always like when we first started, like, oh, Valley is going to be a fire department that we work with quite a bit. We're building these fire training props, and we did for a little bit. But then the relationship we built with Kootenai County and Coeur d'Alene has been absolutely phenomenal. And the job that you have done coming in, a huge testament to all of the different props that we have on all of our props. So our forcible entry door, all of our window props, our ventilation props. When you guys speak, we listen. And because just the knowledge that you guys have and the respect that you guys have in this industry, and you guys have done a hell of a job helping us out. And hopefully you see that in return from how we listen and build things, man. So much appreciation on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that same conversation, and I do think Steve said it pretty close to that. Yeah, he had called me, said, I just met this company over at FDIC, and they're in Spokane Valley. And I said, is it tailored? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, well, I know Taylor. We were just building our burn building with you. Yeah. And I was on the planning team for that. So that's how I got to know you. Yeah. And we drove over here. You were down the street, and we said, hey, Taylor, my name's Justin and Steve, and we think we can help you.
Yeah, and when we started, that's what we were hoping would happen with like a fire department. Like, okay, maybe we'll meet some people, because I took that first prop to FDIC that first year. I think I built it like a month before. Like you're talking about rollouts, with your new business, and it was like I built this thing. It was like, all right, we'll just take it to the show. And the terminology we were using, the things that we were saying, people are probably just like, oh my God, who is this guy? But huge testament to you guys, man, for what you guys have done.
We appreciate you listening. I mean, there's a couple I think of an example of you guys wanted to move an anchor over here, and then we showed up. We're like, whoa, why is this anchor over here? Mm-hmm. You're like, well, because it's out of the way. I'm like, no, we need that right here for this drill. And so to have that back and forth in all different aspects of the facilities has been awesome. And I mean, I've learned a ton. It's been fun just going out and drilling.
Yeah.
The videos aren't quite as fun to do, but that's kind of part of the gig.
Yeah.
I know our vehicle into the building video, I think, has been a huge one.
It has been, and we just actually just put. I don't know if I told you this. We put a challenge out there to fire departments, all who have our. See that word challenge, man? You just grin because we put a challenge out there to everybody who has our training props now. I think we had over 150 training props now across the country just in the past 2 or 3 years. We got a lot of them out there, and so we have a $1,000 reward that we're doing for the most creative training that a department can come up with
that's great.
on there. So like just like the car into a prop, and then somebody sent in a picture. They put a standpipe on the side of it, and then we got just a bunch of. There's just been a lot of stuff coming through. So that's our latest little thing that we've started. But that car into a prop, I think we're up to we're over 250,000 views on that.
Yeah,
so it's huge.
Yeah, that one took off.
I think this is only second to you bailing out of and doing
purposefully falling off the ladder.
Correct.
Yeah, when we were at FDIC, and I remember telling them, like, hey, make sure everybody knows I'm going to fall off the ladder on purpose, but
no one did that.
That wasn't
Josh
enough.
does a good job. Our media guy does a good job of making sure that, sometimes I think we've got that video played like 6 different times, 6 different ways. And I'm sure after this episode, now us talking about it, there's going to be B-roll over top of it too. You talking about it and also doing it as well. So.
Yeah, and your team does a great job. One of my favorite episodes is probably with Jason with Fireball, talking about the marketing of that as well. And just as business guy with Batt 3 stuff, like I just really enjoy that part of the podcast and knowing those guys, and I know Jason, and so to kind of watch how he markets his stuff, watch what your team has been doing, it's incredible.
Yeah, Batt 3, man, you got to get a jump on the TikTok.
We do,
dude.
yeah, we do. Yeah,
and social media,
so much going right now that we gotta do it.
Cool. Yeah. Anything else I'm missing? Anything else you want to chat about? June 16th and 17th, I know we have open house here at our facility, which are going to be showing all of our props, Series 8 through our Series 40 Plus. Excited about having you guys out. We're going to have some people training out here on those props during that time.
Yeah.
Want to have some more guys on. Steve, I think Pete Hawley want to have on here soon as well.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great guys outside of just our department that in the fire service in North Idaho and Eastern Washington. So, I think it's a great, direction to take this podcast because, we're trying to we try to build that group, that camaraderie, that same vision, and build those relationships that we've talked about the whole day. I know it's cliche to say, but that's from small town. Fire chiefs, in small departments, they have a ton of different experience than we have, that Spokane City has, and so on. So it's always great to get those views and meet those people.
Well, we're spoiled too, thinking about it. We had our first episode ever, right, about in the fire industry, Kevin Shea.
Yeah,
and it was just like.
Yeah, you kind of went all in.
I kind of remember going in on that. It was kind of like taking a prop to FDIC the first year after we had like almost zero instruction on what to do. Yep, we're going to FDIC. And it's like, what? And then we bring Kevin Shea on, right? Then Rusty, then yourself. And it's like, now we got, hopefully I can get David Rhodes on when he comes out too.
Yeah, so, and Slayer said he'd be in, John Kwan.
It's huge. We're kind of spoiled, man. You guys are treating us with everybody.
We'll take this set on the road.
Yeah.
But, no, it'll be great.
Cool, man. Well, appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely,
good having you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, and actually, we just jumped off, and I didn't even ask you. So, every time we have somebody on, we have stuff in the background. Sorry, I didn't do this for Rusty. So, sorry, Rusty. But talk to me through a little bit. What do you got in the background here?
Oh yeah. So, just that fire helmet from Rural Fire District from my grandpa. That nozzle has our Backstep Symposium emblem in it. It has JW501 inside that emblem. That was donated at one of our first backsteps we did for the Jeff Welch Foundation after Jeff passed, and so we put it in an auction, and I wasn't going to lose that.
Yeah, for sure.
A picture of my son, that's Lucas, and I use that picture when I teach the leadership classes, and really just to as a reminder to be that firefighter that your kids think that you are. The way that they look at you, and
it's a cool picture.
Everybody's kids think that we're, these superheroes, firefighters, and we need to make sure that we embrace that and that we're being that firefighter they think we are. And then that last one's a picture from Coeur d'Alene that my grandpa and great grandpa are both in that photo there. So
that's cool.
Yeah, that's one that sits behind my desk at work, just kind of as a reminder that
That's cool.
You know, this job runs deeper than just me.
And then you got another one here too, which is a great one. We got to see this one.
That was this was a fundraiser, I think, for the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. So they made this book as a fundraiser, and I just happened to be the one chosen from Idaho.
Mr. February. So good photos, dude.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I think every state is represented in this book.
And they chose you.
Yeah, they chose me.
Right on. Again, good having you on, man.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
bro.